Hey, how are you?
I'm good.
What do we got?
I have an antique 1765 medical book. It's one of the first important psychiatry books of that era, and it was written by the physician to King George.
Okay, it's about psychiatry, so I'm sure that everything in this book is completely wrong.
From 250 years ago, probably, yes. I'm looking to sell my 1765 antique medical book written by the physician to King George, Robert White. It was an important book about psychiatry for its time, and I would like to get this into the hands of somebody who would really appreciate it. There's some wear to the covers, but for being 250 years old, it's in very nice shape. I came prepared to negotiate, but I'm pretty confident the book is worth $2,500.
This is definitely cool. So where did you get it?
I bought that at a thrift store.
No matter what it's worth, since you got it from a thrift store, I'm pretty sure it's gonna be worth more than what you paid for it.
I hope so. I hope I did well.
Do you mind if I open it up?
Not at all, please.
Okay. What are these on the front?
This is the armorial bookplate of Sir Archibald Grant of Monymuskbar. And in his day, he was quite a collector of antique books. So coming from his collection with his bookplate in there is kind of neat. And then the second one is the Dr. John Farquhar Fulton. And Fulton is a renowned neuroscientist.
So what are you looking to do with it?
I would like to sell it today.
Okay, any idea what you're looking to get out of it?
$2,500.
Okay, I know that medical books can be highly collectible, but I would be insane not to call a friend of mine down to take a look at this because I have no idea what it could be worth. Do you mind hanging out for a few and having her come down?
No, that would be great. I'd be interested to learn a little bit more about it.
Okay, well, hang out. I'll be back in a few, okay?
Thank you. I feel confident about an expert. I would like to know more about the book, but I think it's a strong book.
Well, we have a old book on psychiatry. Sounded like something up your alley.
I'm glad you called me down. Can you tell me a little bit about it?
I can. It's a 1765 antique medical book, and it's written by Robert White, the physician to King George.
Okay, so Robert White, he was one of the great medicine practitioners in 18th century Edinburgh. Psychiatry as a discipline doesn't really become a thing until about a century later. So he is really doing trailblazing work here.
Okay.
And the main thing that he talks about in this book is the physical effects that you can have for nervous disorders.
So what do you think about the condition of it?
The condition actually is quite nice. I mean, you can see that there's wear around the joints and things, but this is probably the earliest binding that was put on that book. And, you know, it's still intact, it's still usable. So could I have you show me this book in a little bit of detail? Very nice. And I see these book plates here. Okay. So the first book plate, the big armorial book plate, Scottish politician, very appropriate for this book. But then below it, we have John Fulton's book plate. When I first see that, I go, ooh. So John Fulton, he was a historian who studied the history of science and published on it. He donated his book collection to the Yale Medical Historical Library. So when I see the book plate of John Fulton, my first thought is, shouldn't that be at Yale? But I see that there's an inscription here, and it's mentioning he's gifting it to someone who donated Jonathan Knight's copy of this edition to the Yale Medical Historical Library. So because this person donated their copy, Fulton didn't need to donate his copy to Yale.
That's
So
great.
you didn't steal it.
I did not. I did not steal the book.
Congratulations.
Did not.
Well, I guess the big question is what do you think it's worth?
So this book is very findable in institutions across the world. So it's not incredibly rare, but it's a good book, it's an important book, and the provenance is great. So I would put the price somewhere around $3,200.
Okay, well, I appreciate you coming down.
Happy to help.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, I gotta say, this rarely ever happens, but you came in and you asked for $2,500, and I'm more than comfortable giving you that. So, you wanna make a deal at $2,500?
We have a deal. We have a deal.
One condition.
All right.
What'd you pay for it at the thrift store? $1?
$1.
Oof. Right around the corner, someone will write you up.
Thank you so
Thank you very
much.
much.
I was actually a bit disappointed because I came to negotiate today, but since I got the price I was asking, I'm thrilled.
How you doing today?
Oh, pretty good. What's that?
This is something you've probably not had in here before.
Okay.
This is a 1940s Lady Bountiful breast enlargement kit.
A little creepy.
My wife, she went to an estate sale and found a vintage leather trunk. And when we got it home, we opened it up, and inside was this device. I have no idea if it worked or not. I'm not willing to try it.
It's just bizarro. Recently, in the past few years, there's like an FDA-approved device that sort of does the same thing.
This one's pretty unique because it actually used your kitchen faucet.
So basically, you had to stand next to the kitchen faucet with those on.
Yes. She would hook this up to the kitchen sink,
Okay.
grab her favorite cup, place it against her breast, and then as the water ran through, she'd put her thumb over the grommet to create the suction, creating the desired size and shape.
All right. I guess it's just sort of the society we live in. It's all about how we look, okay? And since the dawn of time, they've been coming up with new ways to enhance women. I have some really old Sears and Roebuck catalogs from like right around 1900-ish, and they have similar devices in those. Over the years, I've seen so much quack medicine stuff. This is absolutely pure insanity. What do you want to do with it?
I'd like to sell it.
How much do you want for it?
$1,000.
It's definitely a curiosity.
There's somebody out there that will pay a lot of money for this.
This is my problem. I mean, I got a store here, families come in here. My mother comes in here. There is a market for this, but it's not for me. I'm sorry. Thanks for letting me see it, man.
Thanks a lot.
That's all I got to say. Thanks.
It sucks he didn't make me an offer, but I knew it'd be hit or miss. I think he's afraid of having it in the shop and his mom finding out. Yeah, he's a mama's boy.
Hey, what can I help you with?
I have a late 1800 Lebenswacker. This is gonna cure all your ailments. I've got
Okay.
a book here that will tell you exactly what's wrong with you and how to take care of it.
It's medical quackery.
So you're telling me this won't cure my baldness?
No, because I've tried everything.
Came down to the pawn shop today to try to sell my late 1800s German medical Lebenswacker. I'm looking to get rid of it because it's not really what I collect. I'm hoping to sell it for about $400. I can't take less than $200 for it.
So where did you get this thing?
I found it at an estate sale. It's got a grouping of needles.
Things like this were really common in the 1800s. There was no Food and Drug Administration. Doctors were more or less allowed to do anything to you. And this was one of the quack things they did. Yeah, that looks like it would really, really hurt. The Levenbacher literally stabbed you with a bunch of needles to give you an infection on purpose.
It's spring-loaded, put it on your body, snap it down, you get a nice wound there.
And the thinking was that it would draw the poisons from any other infection or illness out of you. All right. This thing is crazy. It seems more like a torture device than a medical instrument. There's a big market for 19th century medical devices. The hokier, the better. How much did you want for it?
I was thinking $400.
I'll tell you what. I'll give you $200 for it.
Can't do it for $200. $350.
That's what I'll get out of it if I'm lucky. $250. Every time I get something weird like this, it takes me a while to sell it. It's neat, but it's not $350 neat.
I can do $250.
All right, deal. Wanna go write them up?
I've got an extra 250 bucks in my pocket. Maybe I'll go add something else cool to my collection.
How can I help you?
I brought a big, heavy piece of iron in for you to look at.
Okay, a piece of iron.
It's a medical device, antique.
Okay, bring it around to my back gate. I'll take a look at it there.
All right.
Come on, chum. Times like this make me really happy that we have a space behind the shop. So when those really large items come in, I have a place to look at them. So this is it, huh? Where did you get an iron lung?
A what?
It's an iron lung.
It is a negative pressure ventilator, also known as an iron lung. I got this at my friend's construction yard. There is essentially no information available about value for an iron lung. What I do know is that it is a very important historical medical device, and it's worth something.
Looks like you could lay inside that one.
Well, that's what they were designed to. When people develop polio or some other diseases, it caused paralysis of your chest muscles, so therefore you couldn't breathe. So you would lay in that thing, and basically it would suck the air out, which would make your chest expand, and then they would let the air back in, and your chest would go down, and it would help you breathe when you were going through certain diseases. The iron lung was a huge lifesaver. It might look barbaric by today's standards, but back in the 1930s, it was high tech. Do you mind if I take a closer look at it?
Go ahead.
The porthole still open up?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I can't imagine living in this thing. And some people lived in these things for years and years and years. It's basically there except for the glass.
All the soft parts are gone. The hard parts are all there.
And the bed is in there, which looks like a really uncomfortable bed. This iron lung is pretty amazing. It really shows you how much medical technology has come in the past 80 years. But finding a buyer for this is going to be a problem. It's huge and kind of creepy. How much were you looking to get out of it?
100,000.
You got a lot of problems here. It's in terrible shape, and no one collects this kind of stuff.
My thought is, in a restored condition, would be a tremendous teaching tool for every doctor and clinician
You know,
and
I
staff.
mean, it's interesting. I love the story, but as far as value-wise, it's right up there with scrap.
But where in the world are you going to find something that's this historically important?
I don't see anybody buying them, so I really can't do anything with it. But I do know a guy who could restore it for you.
All right.
All right, have a good one, man.
When he said he wouldn't buy it, I really was surprised. Since I wasn't able to make a deal today, I'm considering restoring the machine.
So what do we have here?
An Edison-era X-ray machine.
Okay. Do you know where the term X-ray came from?
Not exactly sure.
The reason why it was X-rays is because suddenly they realized these rays were coming out and they had no idea what they were. They just called them X-rays.
I have an antique X-ray machine. I collect interesting things to remake, rebuild, and reinvent, and I thought it might have some value. If I'm able to make a sale, I will put it towards buying a plasma cutter. I like to work with metal.
That's really cool. So where did you get this thing?
It was found by a friend in a shed, packed full of stuff. So it probably was stored for decades.
Do you know much about it?
I know a little bit,
Okay.
but not a lot.
So the guy who invented X-rays, his name was Röntgen. He was the first guy ever to get a Nobel Prize in physics.
Okay.
He was a really famous professor. He had tons of experiments, electrical experiments, and eventually he figured out a process to get a good X-ray on a human being, which was just a massive medical advance. This thing sort of solved a lot of problems. A lot of different things they used it for. Not only for medicine, but for metallurgy. During World War II, some of these planes, they could X-ray the welds, make sure everything was done right, plus a lot of different scientific experiments and things like that. They were X-raying mummies, so they could see what's inside the mummies.
Woohoo!
And so, is this all you have of it?
This is all I have of it.
Okay, what do we got here, right here? All right, so General Electric X-ray Corporation didn't start until the 1930s. This
This is probably 1940s, World War II-ish. By that time, they knew the X-rays weren't good for you. And you don't have the main part.
I don't have the main part that probably took
Okay,
the
you don't have the
actual
giant
X-ray.
X-ray tube, the CRT.
No, do not.
It's a cathode ray tube, which is sort of crazy because your TV back in the day, you know, the big box TVs, those were cathode ray tubes, but they just had phosphorus in there that caught all the electrons. But if you took that off, you had an X-ray machine. If you take the phosphorus away, you just have X-rays blasting in your face. This is interesting. The problem is you don't have all the parts.
Yeah, I know.
How much did you want for it?
I was looking to get $1,200.
Okay. A lot of people buy these for the tubes and the parts. The most expensive part is the X-ray tube.
That's not here.
That's not here. And basically, since you don't have it all here and you don't have the very most expensive part, it's basically worthless. Put it on the internet for sale, start it at an auction at zero, and be happy for everything you get. Have a nice day.
Thank you.
X-rays are kind of cool. The machine would be kind of cool if it had all the parts. It doesn't have the main part. So not only is it no, it's basically just hell no. How can I help you?
I have a 19th century British naval surgeon's chest.
Whoa. Creepy but cool.
Real creepy.
Ooh, bone saws and everything.
Here to sell a 19th century British naval surgeon's chest. Well, I've been collecting medical antiques for about 30 years, and my wife's been a pretty good sport about letting me do surgical procedures in her garage, but I think after 30 years, she's had enough. I'm hoping to get $3,500. I'll settle for around $2,500.
Believe it or not, I mean, it looks really, really crude, but they were really good at some things. On a ship in the middle of a battle with cannonballs and bullets flying everywhere, there was a lot of amputations. And when they were done with the amputation, you would have a bunch of strings hanging out of your appendage. After a few weeks, after things healed up, if the doctor was really good with his knots, all you had to do was go pull, 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 and they'd all pop right out, and you wouldn't bleed to death.
Oh, wow. That wasn't my Navy, son.
You would think more people would have died when they used these tools because they didn't sterilize them. But at the time, this was the best there was, and that's what they used. So we have a nice little tooth plucking tool. This little puncture tool right here.
That's called a trocar, and that was to remove fluid. They would puncture it, remove this, and the fluid would drain.
That sounds fun.
And this one?
For finger amputations.
The amazing part is you rarely see these things complete, where there's always something missing. How much are you looking to get out of it?
Oh, I'd like to get $3,500.
It's probably right around what it's worth, but I have to make a little money. I'm thinking more like $2,000. It is marketable, but people who collect these things are very far and few between. I mean, what can you really do?
Well, I'm thinking $3,000. It's kind of a cross-collectible for both medical and military collectors.
I'll give you that. I'll tell you what, I can give you $2,500. It's more than fair.
Okay, I'll do $2,500.
Okay, $2,500. I'll meet you right up front.
Hey, I paid $900 when I bought it, so I think I did pretty well on it.
Hello.
Hi.
So what do we have here?
This is, I believe, a World War I era blood pressure machine.
Cool. There wasn't a whole lot they could do for heart conditions back then, but they soon realized, like, hey, dude, you have a condition where you have high blood pressure all the time. You need to chill out. Quit eating all the salt. Quit getting angry all the time. If you got someone like Chumley that works for you, you need to fire him.
So today I came in to sell my World War I era blood pressure machine at the pawn shop. A friend of mine gave me the machine, and it's been sitting on my shelf for quite some time. I'm just looking to get a little bit more money to add to my other collections. I'd like to try to get at least $100 if possible for my blood pressure machine.
This is interesting. This is basically like the start of modern medicine. It was invented in 1881, and it was used to measure blood pressure. This monitored basically your whole pulmonary system, and it measures the pressure in your arteries. Diagnosing hypertension did save lives. during World War I. When they were doing battlefield surgeries, they'd be checking your blood pressure constantly while they're giving you anesthesia. And if your blood pressure started dropping a lot, whoever's operating this would go like, hey, ease off on that anesthesia stuff, you're killing him. Okay. It's a very, very useful tool. So this was filled with mercury.
Yeah.
They would tilt it to the side till it spilled out a little bit, and then closed it. Then when they went back up like that, when the mercury dropped, that would just be a vacuum in there. You didn't want any air in this at all because that would affect the pressure of it. So you wanted a complete vacuum in there.
Okay.
All right, and then when the cuff goes around your arm, they would squeeze it all so your blood stopped flowing. Listen with the stethoscope. And then when it started flowing, this right here would go boop, 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 boop. It becomes a really, really sensitive measuring device. And you're looking to sell it?
I am looking to sell it, yes.
How much you want for it?
I'd like to ask $100. I think that's reasonable.
You don't have the cuff and all that stuff there. You don't have any of the other parts?
I don't have any of the other parts, unfortunately.
That makes it really, really hard. I mean, usually the people who buy this are like doctors and stuff like that. They put it on their shelf so their friends can come and look at it. But when all the parts are missing, it's not nearly as cool, and it's really hard to sell. It's interesting, but I'm gonna pass on it.
Okay, that's fine.
So thanks for bringing it in.
Thank you, it was my pleasure.
The people I work with, I would never get high blood pressure, would I?